Are you a pensioner going through a divorce or considering one? Well, today we're going to dive into the world of divorce costs for pensioners and explore how pensions are split during the process. First, let's take a look at how divorce works in the UK. The process can vary depending on where you live, whether both parties agree on the division of assets and money. In Scotland, for example, one person must pursue a divorce by providing a specific reason for the irretrievable breakdown of the marriage. However, in April 2020, England and Wales introduced no-fault divorces, eliminating the need to assign blame. This means divorces can proceed without contest and even allow for joint applications, making the process generally quicker. Now let's talk about the costs involved in a divorce. Divorce costs are typically covered separately by each person involved. The person applying for the divorce will need to pay the divorce court application fee. So how does a divorce actually work? In England and Wales, the current court divorce application fee is £593, slightly cheaper in Scotland. However, this is not the only cost you may encounter during the divorce process. You may also need to pay for legal advice, the drafting of a financial statement, mediation services, arranging a consent order, and potentially paying the court and lawyer fees if no agreement is reached. But what if you can't afford to pay the court fees all at once? Unfortunately, the court does not allow instalment payments. However, if you're on a low income, you might be eligible for a court fee discount or even a waiver. Are divorces free for those on benefits? While it is possible to have the court application fee waived if you're receiving certain state benefits or if your pre-tax income falls below a specific threshold, this only covers the application fee itself. Solicitors' fees are not included unless you choose a DIY divorce without legal support, which can be risky. It's worth noting that financial assistance for mediation costs and some legal expenses may be available for low earners in Scotland or Northern Ireland. However, in England and Wales, there is no government legal aid for divorce lawyers, although other organisations might offer such aid. Now let's focus on divorce costs specifically for pensioners. While pensioners don't receive any discounts on divorce costs, including the court application fee, there is a small loophole that could help some pensioners get a cheaper divorce than their younger counterparts. If you apply for the divorce application fee waiver before the age of 61, you must have less than £3,000 in savings to be eligible. However, if you're 61 or over, you can have up to £16,000 in savings and still have the fee waived. So if you're a pensioner, this could be an advantage when it comes to the overall cost of your divorce. Now let's move on to the division of assets and finances during a divorce. All matrimonial assets and finances must be divided as part of the divorce process. This includes assets that may not be in joint names, such as a property bought by one person but used as the family home. Divorces do tend to be less expensive when both parties can independently agree on the division of assets and the ongoing care of their children. However, if an agreement cannot be reached, mediation services may be required, involving a third person who helps both parties work through their differences and reach a resolution. While this comes at a cost, financial support packages are available for low earners. Here's another key difference between the divorce process in the UK. In Scotland, once an agreement is reached, it is legally binding and a clean break is made when the divorce is finalised. The only exception would be if there was evidence of hidden money. On the other hand, in England and Wales, the agreement reached through the financial statement is only legally binding if it's followed up with a consent order signed by a judge. Without a consent order, one party could potentially claim money from the other even after the divorce, especially if they received a windfall or experienced increased success. This is why a DIY divorce is particularly risky in England and Wales. Can you get a share of your ex-partner's pension in a divorce? The answer is yes. It is possible to be awarded a portion of your partner's pension through a process called pension sharing, which is enforced by a court with a pension sharing order, a PSO. This is particularly common when one partner has not been contributing to their own pension, especially if they've been out of work or a stay-at-home parent. The court will determine the amount or percentage of the pension to be allocated based on individual circumstances. If the division of assets and finances cannot be settled out of court or through mediation services, the final option is to have matters settled by a judge in a court hearing. However, this is the most expensive option. Solicitors' fees for preparing the case and representing you in court can easily amount to thousands of pounds, depending on the complexity of your divorce case. Even with the most amicable of divorces, it can still be worthwhile to consult with a solicitor for expert advice on how to proceed. These days, there's many online solicitors that can work out cheaper and easier than meeting in person. JustAnswer, for example, only costs £5 for a trial, which could be far less than a traditional in-person appointment. One of my colleagues used their service and saved over £270 on just an outstanding parking ticket. I've linked that offer in the description. If you use that, you'll also be supporting Money Nerd. So, thank you.